Life is full of choices. What to eat, where to go, what to buy. Speaking of buying, did you know that marketers intentionally use complex language to describe their products? Like this phone commercial, for example. Listen to the high-tech language that they use to market their phone.
This is a 4-nanometer processor, the fastest on Galaxy, with a 73% faster NPU, and with a 1750 nit dynamic AMOLED 2X display.
This tactic really works. Millions of people will buy this phone even if they don't understand most of the features. And it's not just phones, it's everything. From facial creams to how we order our coffee.
Venti, almond milk hazelnut latte, with an extra shot of mocha, upside, and then...
This is known as a complexity bias. It means that we prefer complicated things over simple things. Sometimes, our minds are hardwired to believe that simple solutions are inferior or that they just don't work. And this causes us to overcomplicate things. We'll tell you a true story about how this can cause unnecessary trouble. So stay tuned and listen well. Many years ago, there lived a rich man during the time of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. He had no children to inherit his wealth, but he had a nephew who wanted all of his riches to himself, and he planned to kill him for it. And on a quiet night, when the entire village was sound asleep, he gathered some men and crept into his uncle's house and murdered him in cold blood. Then, he dragged his uncle's lifeless corpse and placed it in front of the house of his former business partner. The following morning, the people woke up and saw the man's dead body lying at the doorstep of his former business partner. At this point, the nephew ran to where the people were gathered and used the opportunity to cause a scene in order to ignite people's emotions. The people immediately accused the former business partner of murder.
They fought. It's acts for revenge.
We fought, yes, but I didn't do it, I swear!
Tensions were rising. The people began taking sides to prepare for a violent encounter, until the village elders urged everyone to consult with Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. He had just freed them from years of slavery and suffering under the hands of Fir'aun and his people. They all saw the miracles and witnessed the plagues of Egypt unfold before their very eyes. The people listened to their elders and went to speak to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. He told them that he would consult with Allah and asked for some time. They agreed and waited for him to return. When he received the answer, he went back to the people and told them that Allah commands them to slaughter a cow, any random cow. But the people were disappointed and very irritated. They turned to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam and accused him of mocking them. They could not accept how simple it was, because they had a complexity bias. Remember when we discussed this earlier in the video? If a solution is simple and straightforward, Most people will disregard it and will choose to complicate it. Let's get back to the story. Prophet Musa had to assure them that this was what they had to do, but they asked for more details, and more details, and more details, until they turned this simple task into a very difficult one. From the thousands of cows in town, only one matched that exact description. After seeing how desperate they were, the cow's owner asked for the cow's entire weight in gold. They reluctantly bought it and followed the instructions set out by Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam through Allah. And as Allah had promised, the rich man returned to life. He came forward and told the people that his nephew was the murderer. They sentenced him to death, and finally, justice was served. But this only hardened their hearts. However, that is a story for another time. In the previous story, we learned that the people had a choice: slaughter one cow and get on with it, or overcomplicate a problem which already had a simple solution. Many people before us made the same mistakes. Either it made their lives more difficult, or worse, it pushed them further away from Deen. And we still see this today. When people convince themselves that something haram is halal in their opinion, like drinking alcohol for instance, the ayah is clear, but they will overcomplicate its meaning to find loopholes that satisfy their opinion that it's halal. Another belief that's gaining popularity these days is that the hijab is not a must. The ruling is clear, but there are those who complicate it with stories, playing with words and semantics until they arrive at the conclusion that it is not mandatory, when it clearly is.
In fact, it's nowhere in the Quran directly meaning a woman's veil.
Do we dare to teach Allah our religion when He created the heavens and the earth and He has perfect knowledge of all things? We'll end the video with a verse from the Quran that concludes our message. Thank you for watching.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تسألوا عن أشياء إن تبد لكم تسؤكم وإن تسألوا عنها حين ينزل القرآن تبد لكم عفى الله عنها والله غفور حليم. قد سالها قوم من قبلكم ثم أصبحوا بها كافرين.